Hi everyone, welcome to the Knox County Public Library and the Tutor Team. It's Mrs. Worland in 2nd, 3rd grade. Today's our day together. I've chosen the book called The Bad Seed. It is written by Jory John and it's illustrated by Pete Oswald. I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of life lessons in this book. I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes a bad seed. Mumble, it's when you say something low and under your breath, hoping that the other person really can't hear it, but sometimes they still do. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? Wow. I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or my feet. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences. And I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. But then the petals dropped and our flower drooped. It's kind of a blur. I remember a bag. Everything went dark. And then a giant! I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed and I hollered, but I was spit out at the last possible second. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. And when I woke up, it was dark outside. A lot of down had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care. And it suited me. Until recently. I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad. But I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen. And I still show up late. And I still talk during movies. And I do other kinds of bad things. But I always say thank you. And I say please. And I smile. And I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad, sometimes I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. And all I can do is keep crying. And I keep thinking, maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Hey, look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. The Bad Seed by Jory John, illustrated by Pete Oswald. And before I forget, I do want to tell you before we go over our story today, there are 2 more books after The Bad Seed. The Good Egg, which I've read, and it's really cute. I think you guys will like it. And the next one is The Cool Bean. I haven't, but I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited to. Now, let's go back. Let's talk about how the bad seed changed from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. So at the beginning of the story, how does the bad seed treat the other characters? What do you think? Well, I agree. He wasn't very nice to them. Made him cry. He cut in line. He didn't practice good hygiene habits. He lied. He never put things back where they belong. And he just treated the other seeds terrible. But by the end of the story, how had the bad seed changed? Well, he still had a few bad little habits, didn't he? You're right, though. He did do some good things. I'm glad you said that because he started saying thank you and please, and he started smiling, and he was holding the door open for people. Not all the time, but part of the time. How did the bad seed feel about himself at the beginning of the story? Well, the title kind of helps with that. He felt really bad about himself. He didn't see himself as good, did he? But now let's talk about by the end of the story. How did the bad seed see himself? Well, he started seeing himself more in a positive light, didn't he? He started feeling happier with himself. Now, let's go to the beginning of the story. What character traits would you use to describe the bad seed? Was he caring? Considerate? Impolite? Well, yeah, when he made people cry. Was he likable? Not very. No. Thoughtful? Rude. Yeah, I kind of like rude. He was rude to people. Cutting in line and just not being the kind of seed he needed to be. Now, let's focus on his character traits at the end of the story. What traits best describe the bad seed? Think about how he changed. They liked him. That's right. Especially, I think the best part at the end of the story was when they said, hey, look, there goes that bad seed. And the seed here said, well, actually, he's not all that bad anymore. And look, he liked that positive saying. He's smiling. And he goes, I heard that. You're right, he was becoming more thoughtful. He just decided that he didn't want to be bad anymore. And here's the thing. Sometimes people can go through a rough patch in life and they make poor choices and maybe they're not doing the right things and they're doing some things that aren't very nice to others. But you know, people can change just like the bad seed started to change. He decided that he didn't want to be that way anymore. And that's a good thing because he's going to start having friends and enjoying life again. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's one of my favorites. So remember, you can always get on the Facebook page of the Knox County Public Library. Click on the hyperlink. They'll take you to the story and all the other stories that we've read together. So this is Mrs. Worland saying thanks for joining me. Thanks to the Knox County Public Library. Don't forget to read a good book. And don't forget, be that cool, kind person that I know you can be.